Welcome to another series of Hilo games casted. This time around we're having on the West team side Agonist playing with Agonist, and on this team side Haviland Tuf playing with HansiPansi. Really looking forward to see how this game will end. We already see right there a very interesting choice of opening your game. I will come back to this later. At the very first, as always, we want to have a brief look at the king spells. At very first, we have Vampire. We can already see Adamas having a Nightmare, so probably Vampire is the option of choice for him. We have Giant Snails, a very aggressive spell, not only for waves 11 and 12, but also for the rest of the game. In my eyes, the second best spell so far, and I probably will prioritize it over all the other spells. And at very last, we have investment, kind of weak spell. I don't really like it. So let's have a look how this game is gonna end with those spells. So we have Agonist here going for the Seraphim Devilfish comp. I've never ever saw this opener myself, so I'm really interested in how this is going to end up. We had Haviland Tuf going for the Snails on 1 and Damas going for the King up. They probably want some more income, especially Xarku here. Going for the 4-worker Violet on 3 start. He got the king up, so he's fine on wave 2. We have HansiPansi with a very high split on the Aseria. That might cause some leaks later on, but we will have an eye on this after no sends are coming out on wave 2. There will probably be some more action on wave 3. AMDK, hey. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. As I said already, nothing really happening here. We have Adamas now pushing to 5 workers. He did not receive a send yet, but with the extra income of the king up on wave 1, he is gaining a little bit of income already pre-wave 2. And now once again, which is probably helping him to still hold the wave with the double gargoyle. Nightmare double gargoyle is a pretty nice setup. You're doing very good against a lizard snail send, against a brute send. We already see it here. The lizard snail is probably gonna come out, and with a nightmare double gargoyle, you should be able to hold this. By the way, we can get some sound going on, some in-game sound. I hope it's not too loud for you. So we have another row of Devilfish coming out for Agonist. I'm not sure if he's trying to do a 1-unit challenge here or whatever his aim is to perform here. Pink's already coming out. They can't really believe it themselves. We have here, by the way, the Lizard from Adamas just going for the income. He knows Xarku's probably going for the Violet here. Going for the Lizard, taking those 12 income and then trying to get him on another wave. I would assume it's going to be 5. Argon is probably sending on 4 against the Aseria. Pretty basic sense right there, and as I saw, the Lizard Snail getting hold by Adamas, now on 6 workers even. And the game's gonna be very interesting on wave 4. Dino coming out against the Aseria. We have the Varg here, which is the only source of pierce damage for HansiPansi right there on this wave 4. And what I really don't like, we can see it here, the Aseria's range is so big, so usually you want those 2 units, and all those as well, way more back, so the Aseria is already tanking a little bit at the very beginning, but like this, the Aseria is the last unit surviving, and it's not tanking any shots from any other unit, so you could totally waste the first 1 or 2 heals on your Aseria, which is not really the aim, and I'm kind of predicting a leak here. I'm pretty sure that should leak a bit, even though Hansi, I think he was still on 4 worker, so he might either hold pretty close because he was still on 4 worker, or he's just leaking a little. It even looks like he's holding this because he was playing it so passively. But on the other hand side, we have the recent coming out, a double dragon turtle after the 1 send, now coming a double dragon turtle against the full devilfish setup. And he's really doing the one unit challenge, which I totally don't understand. Huge leaks coming out here, and I really don't want to estimate what wave 7 is gonna look like. Is the stream good? Okay, good again, because I have no lags and there's no frame drops warning for me. So maybe it was just very short. I hope it's working again for you. Please let me know. Alright, we have the unit switched from Agonist. Oh wow, finally, the first non Devilfish or non-Polybog unit. We already see the Banana Bank and the Doomsday Machine in his role. So he has some setup for this wave 7. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get saved till wave 7 and he will be then able to get the Banana Bank. But even then you have 3 Seraphins, 3 Devilfish plus a lot of other stuff and another natural unit. So this is not perfect for your wave 7. Even if you have a Banana Bank, that's like only 1/3 of your wave. So I'm not sure if that will be a hold in the very end. Xarku here even holding the 100 cent with his Violet Windhawk combination. Everybody else doing pretty good so far as well. And Agonist now even being behind in Worker plus being really weak on wave 7. He has 150 gold right there. I'm pretty sure he's gonna... Oh no. Okay, that's fine. He's going for the Graal right there. Probably going then for the Millennium or for the Banana Bank on next wave. And has at least a little bit of a setup for this wave 7. Still, he's behind in Workers. Adamas has to take this game into his hands a little bit, has to greed a little bit more to pressure Xarku to get those leaks coming, to get a little bit of gold for their team, because Agonist is really looking weak at the moment. He's gonna be weak on 7. He's gonna be not the best on 8 as well, especially if he's going for the Doomsday. On 9, she can do the Windhawk. Windhawk Banana Bank is already a strong comp, but then still you have 3 Devilfish. You have over 300 gold already in magic, magic damage, which is totally not what you like. It's good for 11, so he was building against wave 11 from the very beginning, but this is not perfect overall for your 1 to 10 defense. And now, what are we gonna see? Is it the Banana Bank or is it the Doomsday Machine? I hope it's the Banana Bank because it's better for 7 and 8, which will be the next wave coming. We can already see here the Double Brute is coming, probably adding a snail, so Double Brute Snail can be held by the Banana Bank, even placing the Banana Bank in the split, which is kind of clever in this situation because he has a lot of tanks on the left side already, but still this is not a guaranteed hole, not at all. So I'm really interested in how this is gonna end up, especially with already 1 Brute on the Banana Bank. Forcing it to attack slower plus getting a huge amount of damage. But let's see how this is gonna end. Everybody got their sense so far and it looks pretty good for everybody else. Yes, only Agonist having the problems here, which we could have already said on wave 1 with this start. Yep, that's some leaks right there, 38%. To be honest, way less than I would have assumed. Still on wave 5. Adam is now pushing very hard, going for another income cent. He wants to snowball a little bit into the game, going even for another worker. 13 workers on Adamas now. His value is pretty good. He was holding every cent so far. He's strong on 9 with the Windhawk. He can get some Oathbreakers or just some Chain Fists again to tank there. That's totally fine. He's gonna be decent there. He even has an Exec he can place for 10 to have it dying, and then has a huge tank for 11 as well. And with all the income cents he does at the moment, he's gonna snowball into the game. You already see here the income advantage. He's almost doubled the income of everybody else, which is giving him a huge gold lead, obviously. And I think this is really necessary in that game because Agonist is kind of behind. He's behind in worker, which is not that hard because it's only 1 worker. But he's way more behind in the build. The build structure he has, his value is just in really weak units, and that can go into a totally wrong direction if he's getting the send on smart waves. For example, 12-14 is a really strong combo against him. Even with the Windhawk on 9 now, the Banana Bank not protecting the Violet, not being on the same side, so not protecting the Violet can cause bigger leaks on wave 9 than you kind of want to. So he has to wear the carry pants a little bit right now. The Sends are probably coming out for everybody. Again, on this wave, Adamas once again going for the income. Oh, and now we're seeing something really interesting. We have the Starve or the long save coming from Xarkru and HansiPansi. I would love to see now which wave they're looking at. There's a few options. So Agonist is looking really bad on this wave 10. He's missing a lot of damage. He can probably place the Doomsday Machine, the Millennium, which is dealing a lot of impact damage, but against a Ghost Knight you basically have no shot then. Another good option would be going 11, because Adamas is not looking the best 11 when he's not able to get either a Dying Exec or even more tanks and a little bit of magic damage. So they kinda can decide now who of them is worse on what wave, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a wave 10 Send, especially if you have a Banana Bank on one side and your main damage units on the other side. You kinda have to let your Banana Bank tank, but on wave 10 the focus and the split is always a little bit different, so it's a little bit harder to pull the units over there to the Banana Bank, and then on top he's totally missing the damage. So if the boss is attacking here and there's some units with it, let's say a pack leader, all those units will go for the circle and then attack all the other units before they're attacking the boss. So this is gonna be really hard for them. Now the 4-eye even perfect to snipe down those violets, to snipe this Banana Bank and all this magic damage. This is totally useless against the boss in wave 10 who's having arcane armor. So I would be really scared. I hope they're going for some king ups after the income time, taking the income now and then going for some king ups. And maybe Adamas can actually get the doppelganger, which would be a kind of a lifesaver for him right there. How is his gold looking? Yeah, he's doing the doppelganger. He's doing the upper doppelganger to give the lower one a little bit more time. Only against a 4-eye this is the worst choice, but since he's not getting a 4-eye, he doesn't know obviously, but since he's not getting one, it's good for him, and I think Adamas with his value and the units he should be able to hold. But over there, oh my gosh, Agonist rerolled just in the perfect timing and got those Daphnes. And if he's able to get the boss somehow, the 4-eye is actually not that big of a threat if Adamas is holding this. And this is getting interesting because it was such a long starve, it was such a long save that if they don't get a little bit of king damage right now, this is gonna cost them a lot of game speed and a lot of opportunities later on, because Adamas is just so hard in the game already. A lot of income, he snowballed so hard, and look at this, a nightmare, almost getting the boss, one hitting the boss almost with all the king upgrades. This is maybe 10% on the king, which is totally not a threat at all right there, 8%, and now Adamas is fed as F. He's able to get this vampire going on. He can now basically decide to send whenever he wants to. I hope Agonist is taking the choice of the giant snails, which is not only good against any build that is dealing single target damage, but especially against units like elite archers that you want to have that you want to hit the wave as soon as possible, which is a perfect opportunity, and that's exactly what is going to come there. Alright, we have a really interesting vampire choice for HansiPansi here on the Lioness. I have to say, I don't really support this. I think for him as well, giant snails were the call to do. But it's all now, game deciding when they're going to send. We have Adamas being really strong, 20 workers. He's 6 workers ahead of Xarkru, who has the worker lead in the East team, which is huge. The worker difference overall is enormous. And now it's all about who's making this panic send, who's saving a little bit longer. And with the send coming out for Agonist, 8 snails already, maybe adding a lizard or anything like this. Adamas having all those workers, his send is even bigger, so he does not need the giant snails to be a threat right there. Now it's all about, can Xarkru and HansiPansi defend this? Or if they leak now, they will lose gold, the other team will gain gold, and with the worker Worker lead of Adamas, he's gonna snowball even more into the game because the wave is taking some time and it's just playing into his hands by generating more Mythium, which he can use for a recent, he can use for better king ups. And this wave is now, I think, game deciding. We already have the 400, now 500 gold lead, all on Adamas by his income. If we see his net worth, where is the net worth? We see it right there, Adamas on 500 net worth over Agonist, and we have the first leaks coming out. Circle leaking half of the wave plus a 4i. We have HansiPansi leaking here as well, 16 units leaked within one of them, 1 4i, and there's emulation, and that's even game. That is just game right there. Wave 12 game, that was a fast decision. Holy shit. Well, they saved a little bit too long. There was an all-in wave 10, and Adamas just playing it out perfectly, countering every of their steps by every wave they were sending. He was gaining more and more income. He was just feeding himself a little bit more. They gained so much time from the leaks, and then just getting such a weak send. We can have a look at it again. Then he's just getting a Mimic and Double Brute. This is not a threat at all for him. He kind of needed a 4i, anything like this, to shut down the Doppelganger, to even be able to deal some damage. And then here we see it, the reroll coming out for Agonist on wave 9. Going for the reroll, being so lucky, hitting the Rangers and the Elite Archers, which are both super strong units for wave 10. And with the option of any of those two units, he's able to clear the boss very, very fast, almost getting the boss even. I think he was on 250 HP, and in the very end, that was actually a nice hold, and Adamas just carried this game. Very hard, very strong play by Adamas, and yeah, close all-in call on 10 for Haviland Tuf and HansiPansi.